Right, good afternoon. Today, as promised, I'm going to do a video on uh, stripping and cleaning the Ruger 44 Magnum carbine. Now, this one is the finger groove model. Doing the barrel band one's the same way. Okay, there's really no difference other than the barrel band or these two screws. So, first, you pull the bolt back on either one. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver. Okay. Then you separate the gun from the stock. Like that. Okay. Now, there it is. You can see it's kind of dirty. Move these out of the way for a minute. Alright. And you might have to zoom in to see this, but alright, you release the bolt. You gotta drive this little pin out. Spring. Pull that apart. Pull that out. Bolt handle. The bolt can be a little tricky to get out, and it's just as tricky to put back in sometimes. Oh, alright. Now, for the most part, it's stripped except for your gas block right here. Okay, gonna come out. There it is. Okay. Now, that's everything taken apart. Now, I'm not going to show my cleaning process, but I will show you when I put it back together. I will show, see how dirty it gets? They get filthy. I don't care what rounds you shoot, but they get filthy. Alright, so for reassembly. So there's your bolt. this is the fun, tricky part. It can get kind of aggravating, so you gotta have a little bit of patience when doing this. Okay, so once you got your bolt in there, I paused it for a minute because you'll see when you take yours apart and put it back together, putting the bolt back in sometimes it's a little tricky. So now you got this, your bolt handle. Go ahead and kind of hold your bolt handle in place. You got to kind of put it in at somewhat of an angle. Don't do it backwards like I just did. There it is. So now you got your bolt, you got all that put back together. Now you put your tube in, and you'll notice there's a little plus or a little dash right here. Okay. The skinny side goes pointing toward you. Like that. And then you'll see it'll rest in there. And you get your spring. Now this, you gotta be careful. Slide the spring up on here. And then the spring just kind of rests there, okay? So for this next step, you got to make sure that you kind of hold this together, okay? And you put your trigger assembly on. Now all that's together. Do not let go of it until you have your pin put in it though. I mean, it would probably be okay, but I've learned in the past messing with these springs is kind of aggravating, especially on these older ones. This one's like from '63, so it's a little different. And plus you want to be careful with it too. They don't make these anymore. Alright, now your pin's in, everything is reassembled. Okay, now what I always like to do, just to make sure before I put it back together, there you go. Now to put it back together, you got to pull the bolt back. Stop, and you got to kind of go at an angle like this, like that. That down here, yeah. And everything back up. There she is. 1963 finger groove Ruger 44 Magnum carbine. Again, if you've got the barrel band version, it's the same thing, except you loosen up the barrel band, pull it off, take it all apart the same way. Thanks for watching.